I am going to tell you about my cousin Marcus. Not because anyone asked me to, not because I am proud of what I am about to say, but because I have been carrying this for 4 years, and the carrying has become heavier than the telling, and I have reached the point where putting it down is the only option left. I am the villain of this story. I want to say that at the beginning, so you do not spend the whole thing waiting for the twist. There is no twist. I am not going to reveal at the end that I was actually trying to help, or that my intentions were misunderstood, or that the family has it wrong about me. The family does not have it wrong about me. I smiled at Marcus every time I saw him for 15 years. I hugged him at holidays. I asked about his life with the specific warmth of someone who genuinely cares. I said the right things to his face, and I said completely different things the moment he left the room. I did that for 15 years. And Marcus, who was smarter than me from the beginning, who I knew was smarter than me from the beginning, which is the thing I have never said out loud until right now, Marcus built a life so far beyond anything I told the family was possible for him, that I now sit in my apartment in Houston and think about it at 2 in the morning, when I cannot sleep. Which is most nights. This is his story, told by me, the person who tried hardest to make sure it never happened. We grew up together in Houston, Texas. Same city, different sides of it. Marcus's family lived in a small house in the 3rd Ward. His father worked maintenance for the school district. His mother cleaned houses in River Oaks 3 days a week. They were not poor in the way that people perform poverty in stories. They were the specific kind of working class that is invisible, because it does not complain loudly enough to be noticed. My family lived in Sugarland. My father had a contracting business that did well enough to put us in a house with a pool and send me to a private school in the suburbs, and give me the particular confidence of a child who has been told consistently that the world was built for people like him. We saw each other at family gatherings, holidays mostly, the big ones. Thanksgiving at Grandma Ruth's house in Pearland, Christmas, the occasional summer cookout where the extended family assembled in the backyard with its plastic chairs and its specific hierarchy of who sat where and who talked to whom and what that said about where you stood in the family's understanding of itself. Marcus was quiet at those gatherings. Not shy exactly, observant, the specific quality of someone who is watching how everything works and filing it away. He sat near the adults more than the other kids did, and he listened in a way that I noticed even then, and that I did not know what to do with. I was loud at those gatherings. I was the one with the stories and the jokes and the ability to make Grandma Ruth laugh, which was a specific social currency in our family that I had identified early and exploited consistently. Everyone liked me. I made sure of that. The academic dismissal started when Marcus was 16. He had always been a decent student, not spectacular in the way that gets noticed, not the kid who wins the science fair or gets written up in the school newsletter. Just consistently solid. The kind of student whose teachers knew his name for the right reasons, but who did not generate the particular excitement that families project onto their brightest child. I was the bright child in our family. I want to be honest about that, because it matters. I had the grades and the test scores and the private school resources, and the parents who knew how to advocate within systems that rewarded knowing how to advocate. I was going to college. It was discussed at family gatherings as a matter of settled fact. Marcus's college situation was less settled. His grades had dipped in 10th grade when his father had a health situation that required his mother to work more, and required Marcus to pick up the difference at home in ways that do not show up on a transcript, but consume the same hours that studying consumes. At a Thanksgiving gathering that year, Marcus was 16, I was 18, already accepted to the University of Houston on a partial scholarship that my family discussed loudly and often. My aunt asked the table what Marcus was thinking about for after high school. Marcus said he was thinking about computer science. The table did a thing. Not a cruel thing, not a loud dismissal. the quiet thing that is more damaging than loud dismissal, because it cannot be argued with. A slight shift in energy, a micro-hesitation before the next comment. The specific sound of a family recalibrating its expectations downward, without anyone saying a word about it. My father said that was a competitive field. My mother said there were good trade programs in Houston. Grandma Ruth said whatever Marcus did, she knew he would work hard at it. And I said, and I want you to hear this clearly, because it is the thing I am most ashamed of in a list of things I am ashamed of. I said, I am sure Marcus will find something that works for him. Something that works for him. Not computer science. Not a 4-year degree. Not the future he had said out loud in front of the family. Something that works for him. I was 18 years old, and I said it with the specific confidence of someone who had already decided what Marcus's ceiling was, and was generously acknowledging that he would find something beneath it. The table moved on. Marcus did not say anything. He looked at his plate. I did not think about it again for approximately 3 years. Marcus thought about it. I know that now. I went to the University of Houston. 4 years that were fine. Not exceptional. Not the launching pad my family had treated my acceptance as. Just fine. I graduated with a 2.9 GPA and a job lined up at my father's contracting business, which had always been the plan beneath the plan, even when college was being discussed as the thing that would open every door. The doors my degree opened led mostly back to my father's office on the west side of Houston. I told myself that was strategic, that I was building something, that the business would be mine eventually, and that was its own kind of success. I told the family this version at every gathering for 3 years. Marcus was not at those gatherings for a while. He had done something nobody in the family had fully tracked. While the table was offering him trade programs and something that works for him, he had applied to the University of Texas at Austin. Not told anyone he was applying, just applied, on his own. With application fees he had saved from the part-time job he had been working since he was 15. He got in. Full ride. Academic scholarship. The kind that requires a certain kind of grades and a certain kind of essay, and a certain kind of person who has been sitting near the adults at family gatherings for years, filing away how everything works, and can put that on paper in a way that a scholarship committee finds compelling. He got in, and he went, and he did not make a production of it. The family found out at Easter, when his mother mentioned it the way she mentioned everything. Quietly, without fanfare, as if she were reporting a weather update, rather than the fact that her son had earned a full scholarship to UT Austin. The table did a thing again, a different thing this time, surprised. I was impressed. The recalibration is going in the other direction. I said that was great. I said Austin was a great school. I said I was sure Marcus would do really well. And then later that evening, when the dishes were being done, and the family was in smaller groups, I found my way to a conversation with my uncle, Marcus's father's brother, a man who had always been the family skeptic, the one who said what others thought. And I said quietly that UT was competitive, and the scholarship was impressive, but computer science was brutal, and the dropout rate was significant, and it was great that Marcus was getting the opportunity, even if it did not work out the way he hoped. I said that, quietly, to the right person, who I knew would carry it. I planted a seed of doubt in the exact soil where it would grow best, and I smiled at Marcus when he came back into the room. I want to stop here and ask you something. Do you know someone like me? Not someone who is obviously cruel. Someone who is warm to your face and something else entirely the moment you leave the room. Someone who frames their doubt as concern, and their jealousy as realism, and their fear of your success as genuine care about your well-being. You probably know someone like me. Drop a comment. Tell me where you are reading this from. Tell me one word. Follow this page. Share this. Because Marcus's story is not finished, and the part that is coming is the part that kept me awake last night. Marcus stayed at UT Austin. He did not drop out. He did not struggle in the way I had quietly suggested he might. He did the thing that I had been telling the family was unlikely. He thrived. I did not know the specifics of his thriving in real time. I knew what filtered back through the family, which was not much, because Marcus was not a person who reported on himself. He did not post about milestones. He did not call gatherings to announce things. He just did things, and they happened, and occasionally the family found out. He graduated in 4 years, computer science degree, University of Texas at Austin. The family found out at a graduation party his mother put together in the Third Ward house with the plastic chairs from the backyard and a cake that said, "Congratulations, Marcus," in blue icing. I went to that party. I hugged him. I said I always knew he had it in him. That sentence, I always knew he had it in him. After 4 years of quiet doubt planting and ceiling assigning and something that works for him. After the conversation with my uncle that I had specifically engineered to travel. After every gathering where I had been warned to his face and something else the moment he turned away. I always knew he had it in him. Marcus looked at me when I said it. He looked at me for 1 second longer than the moment required. He said thank you. He moved on to the next person. I got a piece of cake. The job came 6 months after graduation. A technology company. Not a Houston company. Not even a Texas company. A company headquartered in Austin with offices in San Francisco and New York. And a name that people in the industry knew and that my father's contracting business clients had definitely never heard of. Starting salary that I found out about indirectly from my aunt, who had found out from Marcus's mother, who had mentioned it the way she mentioned everything, quietly, as a weather update. The number was almost exactly double what I